Hello, good morning to you. So last week, this case was postponed because the accused did not have a lawyer. What's the status this time around?
Well, in fact, Oli, we're actually waiting for his legal aid representative to come to court and represent him. His matter has not been called yet. The magistrate has adjourned court proceedings until that legal aid representative actually comes. Now, of course, the media has made an application in order to be able to film court proceedings, and so we understand that the suspect, Mpho Thobane, is expected to oppose that application. The prosecution isn't going to oppose, and so we will have the media application then heard first, and the magistrate will then make a decision whether we will be able to film the court proceedings. So at this stage, the court process has been adjourned until we have that legal aid representative come to the courtroom.
Silindelo, why is Mpho Thobane, the accused, opposed to the media coming inside court with their cameras?
You know, last week, Oli, when the magistrate had asked him and informed him about the media application, he spoke about the dignity of the deceased, being respected. But at that stage, the magistrate then stopped him and said, you know what, I think it's best that you consult with a lawyer first around the issue of the media application. So it's still unclear at this stage what his opposition to us filming will be, but we will be hearing what those reasons will be at around 10:30 this morning.
Talk to us about the family of the deceased person here, Viwe Dalingozi. Has the family been able to travel from the Eastern Cape to come and attend these court proceedings? And the accused as well, are there any family members from his side?
There's actually no one, neither from the deceased or the suspect side in terms of family-wise. Of course, the deceased is from the Eastern Cape, eNCA, and so when I spoke to the family, they were busy with funeral arrangements, in fact, and they were waiting on the forensic pathology report to be finalized in order to also finalize those funeral arrangements, which is supposed to take place this weekend. So there are no family members from either side. In fact, it's very quiet here in court. Many supporters, I think, are at the Vlakfontein murder case in Malaysia around the issues of gender-based violence. But at this stage, the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court is quiet. It's only really people here appearing for their cases at this particular courtroom. We know that from the police's side, when they did arrest Mpho Thobane in his hometown of Mokopane in Limpopo, we understand that they actually did receive a confession from him, and it's also understood that during that arrest, the police noticed that Mpho Thobane did also have minor burn wounds on his body, in particular his legs as well as his hands.
Very interesting details indeed. Just finally then, Silindelo, has he been asked to plead, and do we know whether he will be applying for bail once he has obtained the assistance of a lawyer?
Those details will come out in about an hour's time, Xoli. We don't know what to expect, really. It's after he's spoken to the legal aid representative on what he wants to do. Does he want to plead? Will he apply for bail? And of course, he is facing charges of premeditated murder and arson. And a charge of premeditated murder is a Schedule 6 offense, which carries a minimum of a life sentence. And what we know as well, that with the Schedule 6 offense, if he is to apply for bail, the onus will be on him to prove why he should be granted bail.
All right. Silindelo Masikane, thank you very much for that update. She's covering the story of Mpho Thobane. He is accused of dousing his girlfriend with petrol and setting her alight. And the victim here is Viwe Dalingozi, who sadly passed away as a result of the burn wounds that she sustained. And as you heard from Silindelo, the judge or the magistrate standing the matter down for the time being in order for Mpho Thobane to be able to get a lawyer for himself. Coming up,